So this is a video of how to create some of the best variables out there for assumptive data from your contact lead list. All right. So when you're reaching out to a cold audience, you want to be as relevant as possible and personalize the copy to them, right? Well, especially when you're following my framework, the CESRP framework, right? We're doing context, enrichment, segmentation, relevancy, and personalization. Now, after we've already gotten the list, let's say here, right? And we've already enriched our data, we've segmented it, and now it's time really to finalize that relevancy and personalization. You want to make this really relevant to them, right? So the way we're going to do that essentially is by leveraging their public info, like their email. Maybe we're going to use their city, their first name, their job title, their LinkedIn, their company name, and let's say their website as well, right? This is their website. So I'm going to show you guys here a little bit of different types of enrichments that I have found that are commonly really good to plug and play into your copy in really creative ways, right? So some of these are more assumptive variables, but it's pretty accurate because most websites contain a lot of data and you can extract that. Or some of these are just manipulating the format to appear more natural, right? So first one, ICP. ICP is standing for Ideal Client Persona. Essentially what we're doing here is we're analyzing this company's website and we're asking Claygen or GPT here with web scraping to tell us who the ideal target customer is of this company, right? And we have a very specific prompt. Now you can see here that almost all of these are extremely unique to that specific company. So Gray Matter Systems is going to have a different ICP than Mass Group and Sutherland and ID Solutions, right? So to show you a little bit more of the prompt here, right? When we look through some of these solutions here, you can say, okay, semiconductor companies and aerospace firms, restaurant chains, manufacturing companies, automotive companies, etc. Now to show you some of the prompting here, essentially we use Claygen. We use our own GPT key here, since it's a little bit cheaper than using Clay credits. And then we mapped out, okay, using the company website, review the website, tell us who the most lucrative customers are with 90% confidence, only put one line, don't give us generic titles like CEO, CMO, or whatever. We're just wanting to focus on the actual company groups. And in this particular case, for this case here, I wanted to have it more plural, right? So I wanted two and into the same thing because that would give us a larger, broader audience to target. And then we want to remove all the other things, make it, let's say, lowercase so it plugs and plays into our copy really easily. And we didn't want any fluff words, right? So we ran that and then we received basically this output. Now, there's many, many ways you can use this, whether it be for CRM enrichment, whether it be for plugging it into your copy on cold email, whether it be using it for your LinkedIn outreach. This type of ICP stuff is really valuable when you're trying to actually do this at scale, right? Now, the next one that I can discuss here is customer goals. Some of these enrichments you don't even have to use within the copy. It's just mainly for context, so you can create the best next thing sometimes. So for customer goals, we want to analyze what is the goal of their ICP or what is the goal of this organization in particular, right? Maybe it's attached to their mission or their vision and things of that nature. So when we generate this at scale, we use something like this. Using their website, provide a 4 to 10 word brief explanation of what their ICP, which is these guys, right, would want and from their service. So we can tie in something relevant from the company as well as to the actual target customer, and then use very simple language, make sure it's very simple verbiage, and put it really simply there. All right. So after we've generated that, here's some sample responses. So with Gray Matter Systems, they're targeting industrial companies. They're making their work better and easier, right? or they're increasing their standards, or making delicious and convenient meal options, right? And you can use this within your copy, like for follow-ups. I would say, like, is this a goal for you? Is boosting food and drinking taste, smell, actual goal for you for this type of fragrance company, for example, or for this type of food and beverage company, right? These are very specific goals for each customer that a regular VA, a virtual assistant, or yourself would have to analyze like a lot. But you can do this at scale. Same thing with this concept here, with the thing they sell, right? So here we analyze primarily like what do they actually sell, right? What does this company actually sell? So they sell industrial analytics. This guy is selling manufacturing. This one's air pollution control, right? And it makes sense based on other contexts. So they're saying they're selling air pollution control to biotech and petrochemicals, which makes sense. And then they're also trying to lower their cost and better the air quality, right? So when you do this at scale and you combine it into the right sentences, and maybe you guys actually should message me for seeing what type of sentences really work well in this niche with these enrichments. That's something you can do. And then, of course, my personal favorite probably is like after you've already enriched your company to appear normal. Let's say like most people won't say what gray matter systems. Like they'll just say gray matter when they're speaking about gray matter, right? So you just make it simple. But my personal favorite always is the industry niche, because when you look at your Apollo lead list or your Scrape lead list or anything like that, they typically contain a lot of generic information. All right, so like maybe these guys wouldn't be in industrial cybersecurity. They would just be industrial, and that's it, right? And then just be group categorized. Whereas now you can make it really, really niche to them on filters that would never have applied to you before. All right, so looking at this, you can see each one is unique per company. Really cool stuff, honestly. We made it very simple. To show you the prompt here, you can see based on the website, tell me the industry niche in 3 words or less. And then we give it an example sentence here, for example, right? Same thing with the customer projected gain. So we wanted to see like how many customers do we think would be a lot for them to take on. So if they're like a small service, like 30 would be a lot for them to take on, right? But if they're a PLG product that's just automated, I mean, maybe they can do a lot more, or like an actual product, right? They can probably do a higher volume. And that allows us to also like segment the list for later, or make assumptions from that, or even reference that in the copy. And the last one, similar to the company name, what you can do is like with the job title. So if we look at the original job title here, it's like Chief Marketing Officer, Head of Marketing, Marketing Director. Sometimes it's a little bit broad, or there's like other headlines that they use within their LinkedIn profile, right? Where they have like all these different things, and it's kind of confusing which one you should actually prioritize. So we kind of made it easy, right? We just made it lowercase because we wanted to stand out on the copy, make it flow. But you can basically prioritize which type of lead job title you want there for your copy as well. Yeah, very simple prompt, right? Want it to be a lowercase, one primary job title, do not return more than one. And those are some of my favorite enrichments to run. You can get really crafty with the types of messaging to create around this, since it's really relevant info for them. And then once you actually like segment based on the pain point, then it really prints. So hopefully this helps you guys on some type of enrichment level, or getting ideas out there what you can do with AI today before you even get into like other types of paid enrichments, where you get like contact data. And if you have other ideas or other requests for other videos or other types of enrichments, either contact me directly or leave a comment in this video. I'm sure that it'll be a great time to do that stuff. So see you guys in the next one.